exploring the intersection of faith and youth culture tonight. So if you're a young person or you've got a young person somewhere around the house, then this is the show for you. You need to lean in as we talk about the world of YOLO. You only live once, living your best life, some of the constant mantras that you hear. But how does a Christian navigate the tension between living in the moment and living for eternity? So in a world where social media showcases the highlight reels of others' lives and things like that, how can you navigate? So we have got guests in the studio that are going to be helping us to go through this one. Tonight I'm joined by Chaplain Brian Moyo, who's into corporate chaplaincy services. He's from Seventh Day Church in Harare, and also programs coordinator at Alpha Zimbabwe, that's Tatenda, a young bandit Gono, who comes in again for the second time. And he blames me for that nickname. I promise Tatenda Jauparin. All right. Next time.
Next time.
Then no one. What do you say?
I'm okay, how are you?
So you're a young person in the house.
Am I?
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, you can see that.
Yeah.
So how did you understand Chembera?
Charity,
Charity.
man.
But
Ah.
and we've got Chaplain Brian Moyo also in the studio with us. Good evening.
Good evening, E.T.
It's good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Good. So we are going to be discussing and dissecting this one. But before we get into that, we always like to give you a quiz question to chew on throughout the show, and we'll give you the answer at the end of the show. So today we talk about the Eucharist. Right, let's talk about the Eucharist. Which religion practices that sacrament, and what exactly is it? So that's going to be the quiz question for today, and we've got Tobekila in the house, we've got Charity in the house. One of them is going to be pinning that answer, and we are going to be reading that at the end of the show. And I have to introduce you to the happy gang behind the scenes. You know, I've got happy people in the studio.
Hey.
Happier than most is Steve Vickers.
Yeah, still really feeling the vibe from last Monday's show when we were at the Kingdom World Tour. You know, still looking back saying, hey, that was amazing, being so close to Kirk Franklin and Maverick City. So yeah, that was just an amazing time that we had there, E.T. Yeah, wonderful.
And you're wearing your branded.
Oh yeah, I've got my Brighton hoodie on. Congratulatory messages continue to pour in for me as a Brighton supporter, because my weekend was especially super, because we ending the weekend on top of the English Premier League for the first time ever.
After winning 1-0.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's a lesson in perseverance, you see.
Seagulls. All right, I see you then. And we also have Tobekila in the house.
Yebo Salibonani. I'm still also jet lagged from the Maverick City and Kirk Franklin show. It was really an event not to be missed. If you weren't there, it's okay. Me, Steve Vickers, the Star FM team who were there, we enjoyed on your behalf.
We did.
And someone who wasn't there for reasons beyond our control is Charity, but look, she's in the studio today.
Oh, that's okay, you That's okay, how are you?
I'm good. So I've got something that I said, I put this one aside. So I went on leave for a week last week. I couldn't talk about this one, but it snuck its way onto Faith and Trial today. So, short put at the Olympics, Yemisi Ogunleye broke out in a gospel song after clinching the gold medal.
So after falling, I went back to my seat and I sang a song. It means I almost let go. It goes like this. I almost let go. I was quite at the edge of the breakthrough, but couldn't see it. The devil really had me, but Jesus came and grabbed me. He held me close.
Wow. Well, happening at the Paris Olympic Games of 2024. That's Yemisi Ogunleye. She's a German shot putter. She won gold, and she was just asked, so we know that you are part of the choir at your church. Do you have a song that you were thinking about, that you're singing maybe? And then she just decided to burst into song. So that's my Olympic trending for Faith and Tribe. Yeah, so despite the name of the Lord being dragged and being muddied at the Olympics, there were pockets of glory that were doing the rounds. And I remember the show that we did when Steve Vickers went on a rant about the opening ceremony. I guess maybe this can just can ease you a little bit, Steve. We hope that it's gone a long way.
Yeah, I guess you say there were some moments of expression. That's one thing about the Olympics. Some of the footballers had the messages of faith underneath their shirts as well. Yeah, so some redemption there, yes.
So we've got the official trending story that we're going to get from Tobekile. So Tobekile hit us with the official trending story of the week.
Okay, the official trending story of the week comes with some controversy. So I don't know, should we now start doing background checks of our pastors and, scrutinizing how they live their lives? I don't know, because blind faith. But anyway, I'll let you be the judge of it. So the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court of South Africa has denied Pastor Pasega Motsaneng and his bodyguard bail. The pastor's son, Revival Motsaneng, has however been released on warning with conditions. This comes after a video that went viral on social media showing the trio armed with machetes and a gun forcibly entering Matsilizo Primary School in Katlehong and kidnapping 2 children believed to be family of the pastor. So the men were facing charges of kidnapping and assault, intimidation and contravention of the Dangerous Weapons Act. But then earlier, the state prosecutor in the case, Bohelo Vilagazi, said the safety of the state witness will be compromised if the pastor and the 2 other accused were released on bail. So this doesn't come, it comes from the backstory of which the pastor already has 9 arrests before, and the cases are still under investigation. But then they faced the charges of assault, intimidation, and contravention of Dangerous Weapons Act. So the state opposed the accused's bail application while the 3 pleaded not guilty. And then the court had that the pastor has been arrested 9 times. So, yeah.
But is it the one way he's saying that, look, my son is being bullied?
I think so. I did not get time to actually follow up exactly what's going on with the whole story. But it's really weird when a man of God then takes a very big gun to a primary school to intimidate a child. No matter if your child is being bullied at school. We don't condone bullying, but then when it then comes into the parents, now when you now want to meddle into that issue, there's a way of dealing with it. And worse off when you're a man of God. And you have 9 prior cases that are under investigation. And now the state, imagine the state is now fighting, no, we can't release him because what of the 9 and what of this current issue that is ongoing? Because the safety of the people involved.
Yeah, it's quite something else to go and threaten primary school children with machetes and a gun.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know how far you should take being the helicopter parent there. I think it's taking it a little bit too far there when you're now going to solve the bullying issues on your own with machetes and a gun.
Yeah, and it's a primary school, not even high school, primary school. With their crayons and everything, you are in there loaded. No, it's just too much.
Yeah, that's our trending story come through on our WhatsApp platform as well. You can also have your say. How far are you going to take it in terms of defending your child from bullying? Will you take it as far as Pastor M did. 0714414413, 0242 689 0772 162 We go there to the school with your machete, with your gun, and say, no, enough is enough. You can't bully my child like this. So we are now getting into the roundtable discussion part of the show where everyone gets to chime in. We invite you on WhatsApp, we invite you on Facebook. We are streaming live right now, and we also invite your phone calls, and we then get our guests to take center stage as we discuss the meat and potatoes of the day, which is the lifestyle of a young believer in a world where social media showcases the highlight reels of other lives. It's easy to get caught up in the pressure to constantly have fun. What is fun? We'll try and define that. You want to try new things as a young person, you want to push boundaries, but as believers, you are called to live a life that honors God. How do you do that exactly? So we are going to be talking about that and answering some of your questions today, because we are joined by Chaplain Brian Moyo, the chaplain who does corporate chaplaincy services, is from his Seventh-day Adventist Church in Harare. And we also have Tatenda Gono, who's back. He's from Alpha Zimbabwe. He's the programs coordinator there. So once again, we welcome you as we dive into the big segment right now. And maybe to just get us going, let me come to you, Chaplain, with this one. Just to lay a bit of a foundation.
That's it.
Yeah. When you hear the word fun as presently used in our society right now, what do you hear?
Well, definitely there must be some drunkenness of sort. Someone needs to get drunk for them to, at the end of the day, claim that they had some level of fun. You must be at some party or gig. There must be some club or, some noise, loud music, and, there must be a lot of people. Too much eating, getting drunk and all those things, gluttony at the same time. Yeah, and probably that's what we would term fun in this day. Yeah.
Hey. Tatenda, do you want to add on to that? Do you want to funny? Don't my far away.
Yeah, fun to me, fun is what you make it. Depends are you saved or you're not. Because if you are in Christ, you have a different perspective on what is fun. And if you're not in Christ, maonera kwe fun akatusi. So fun is what you make it.
So we got this topic suggestion in our group. We always encourage you to join the group, 0772 162 651. The link is on the about or the description there. Hold it down, paste it somewhere, and automatically join the group. So it was another Tatenda who's not in the studio who requested this one. So Tatenda, if you're listening, there's a Tatenda who's going to help us to discuss and dissect the topic that you sent us. Here's what Tatenda was asking.
What I would like to see addressed is to find the balance between living in the moment, enjoying the time in the body with so many responsibilities, and also planning for your future. I think that was really my concern was in every aspect of life. Trying to find the balance of I'm in my 20s, so I have to enjoy, but also at the same time I've got a future and I need to plan for it, something, so that I don't end up regretting my whole existence when I'm now older and regretting why I made certain choices when I was still young. There are some problems that we face. It's being on either extreme, living in the moment too much, forgetting that we have a future, and then also praying for the future so bad, forgetting that we're actually living right now. So, yeah, whether it's in terms of drugs, alcohol, partying, living, or just being a person who's locked up in their own world, it revolves around being at either extremes. So those are the challenges young people face. Peer pressure also, yeah, it falls under that because again, you fall under peer pressure if you've planned for the future and you know where you're going. So, yeah, anything, lots of the problems involve being on either extreme sides and not finding that balance. So, yeah, what I would want to do at least would be finding the balance between the two.
Wow, that's Tatenda, who's in the group, the Friends of Faith on Trial group, the official WhatsApp group, where we get these voice notes coming in, we get these topic suggestions coming in, and we try our best to try and look for people who can help us to then dissect. So, Chaplain, this is a young person who is in university right now. She's clearly trying to map out her way in life, and it seems she's asking the difficult questions, you know. Then where is the balance? Because as a young person, I'm sure she's seeing a lot of things. You know, she's seeing things happen around her. She's making decisions. When you're listening to that, what were you hearing?
You know, as I listened to her, I want to first respect her for the straightforward question. I mean, it's always a difficult thing for every young person to draw a balance as they live. I think, but to address that balance question, I have one statement that I wish I knew when I was young. You know, when I was still growing up, I wish I knew that life has no delete button. That, you know, that life has no, you can't press backspace. You can't press erase or empty bin of the things that you've already done. So when we then are looking for the balance, as a young person, you must then be able to know, for starters, before making any decision or choice of anything that you want to do, know that that which you have done in that particular moment will always carry your tag. It will always be with you. It will move with you. Look at David. He wished so much that he would have deleted remaining behind, deleted sleeping with Bathsheba and all of those things. But he was not able to do it. And still, same applies to the young people today. You'll never be able to delete the body count. You know, the number of people that you've slept with, your drinking experiences, stealing experiences, and all of these things. Yes, you will repent, but we will always be able to pick out and say, John used to do A, B, C, and D. So once we know that is a form of principle, when I need to draw a balance in anything, I must know as I decide on anything, I will never be able to delete the decision that I've made.
Wow, that puts a lot of weight in decision making. Let me come to you, Tatenda, the Tatenda in the studio. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, checked younger and checked could Ato were open to ask that question. It takes a lot of courage to one way zero issues. Because we just bury them Zakadaro, Shunguitik, and then we bury them Zakadaro. But the fact that Ato to point out the question seems it shows that there is something bad. And Panga Taurane to balance like Zarkona is Kuitika. I'm not sure, but is she involved in whatever she's saying? Cannot, you know, I'm not sure, but the fact that Angoda could have the question, she's deep.
It's deep. It's deep. From where was our one around in terms of my extremes are Kuitika. Chinjakaoma wana balance
the way you're saying it sounds like
what Araba said that.
Yeah, a lot is going on. Zakawanda Zumitika Kunza Kuitia. Some story bed, especially Kusete, this says my we are facing a lot. Zukutizunguzachoka kusirima mwari zvinokurira, you know. Zvakawanda zvikuitika.
Yeah, iti I think, you know, the world is making too much noise. There's a lot of noise. You know, I think for some of us when we grew up, there was less noise. But right now, you know, young people are, I mean, everything is shouting from every end. Anyone who has made $1, whether they stole it or they worked for it properly, they'll make noise about it.
Yeah.
Anyone who is driving the latest car in town, whether they got it properly or they didn't, all I'm saying is they'll make noise about it. Anyone who's gotten the most beautiful lady in town will still make noise about it. You dress well, you do whatsoever. So, hence the question from Taten. How then am I able to draw the balance between all this noise that I'm seeing and all these good things that I'm seeing? Because, by the way, some of these things are actually good, in fact.
Yeah.
It's good to have money, it's good to look good, it's good to dress good, it's good to drive well. But then the question is, now as you see all this goodness, how are you going to get to the goodness? The balance that then hits some of us as young people is that at the end of the day, we don't want to work for the goodness that we see. We want to wake up with the goodness already. And then the balance is distorted. So I'll sleep around for the goodness. You've lost the balance. I'll sell everything that I am for the goodness.
For the goodness.
I've lost the balance.
Balance is good.
I'm still focusing on the good things.
Yeah.
They're good things. We must have them. We must live well.
Yeah.
You know, we must be able to acquire. We must want to get all those beautiful degrees.
Yeah.
But the question is, how are you then going to draw the balance of getting the degree in the proper and correct manner?
The pursuit of balance. That would be a good book to give a title. Yeah, so we had a back and forth, you know, I was talking to Steve the other day, we had a back and forth about a young person who said, your temptations are different from our temptations. So I was thinking to myself, no way. But what you're just saying now, that there's noise that wasn't there. There's Facebook that wasn't there, there's Twitter that wasn't there, there's all this peer pressure and all these things that are happening there that was not there before.
Real-time evidence.
Yes,
Yeah.
There's that, you know. If you know, back in Steve's day, you know, you had to gather the courage to go get a magazine if you wanted to access some porn. And then they'll see you, they'll look at you at the counter, then they'll say, you're just too young. You look 13 years old. You couldn't do it. But now, there's internet. So, definitely, the temptations are different. Let me come to you, Tatenda. Pressure yakamira.
Pressure iriko baba.
Pressure yakamira zino.
Pressure iriko baba. Chero ukazombozama kuzviresista sei. Somehow zvinozongokwana. It's how you end it kana zvaita sei zvakwana, but there is pressure out there, especially kuvanhu vezera redu. Pressure yemapfekero, pressure yefoni unoshandisa. So much pressure, especially kuvasikana. Mazuva ano pari kushandiswa shoko rinonzi panongoriswa. Panongoda risk. Panongoda risk change, you know, the language unenge vachishandisa. But there's so much pressure kuvanhu vakaita isusu as my youth. The pressure to make it like vanhu vanozvarwa overnight,
to make it overnight. You want to walk into your room and walk out great.
Exactly, so vanhu vanozvarwa zvakasiyana siyana. Vamwe vanozvarwa with everything that I'm working like twice as hard to have in right now. Umwe anozvarwa atori nazvo already. And then maybe you go to same school nemunhu akadaro, kana to be friend munhu akaita kunge iyeyo. And now you're trying to be on the same level yake munhu. You are coming from a poor family, you're coming from Fakosi. You know, and you're trying to fit in, the desire to fit in, that's peer pressure, right? Trying to be the same level in that person, you end up doing facility. So city supposed to do so. That pressure you know, but I understand it.
Okay, so Tatenda is in the studio. He's got a story. We've been on the show and he's shared his story before, and he has come out of the other side. And very few people have come out of the other side. And we're on live on Facebook, so he's wearing a suit. Looking, I don't know what this pressure is talking about dressing well. He doesn't have dressing well pressure. So we'll hear a little bit about his story after we listen to this. So we have Faith on Trial on the Streets. I had an opportunity to speak to some university students who gave some diverse views in terms of how they try to reach that equilibrium in life of having fun and also pursuing your goals.
What I realized was young people carry that motto that says you can learn from your mistakes, and then we are not scared to do anything in this life, but without knowing that one mistake that you make can change your whole life. So I feel like us as young people love to explore too much. We love to live a life that pleases other people, and we forget that because most of us we come from but when we go out there, we want to match the standard of other people.
For me, I would say, for me, it's easy because I don't have any mind, right? So most of the things I don't go out and drinking, so it's kind of easy. And the friends that I have, so it becomes even easy. And because since they don't drink, they don't know what,
So are you saying if you had money, you'd be going out drinking and partying?
Maybe if I compare the apples against here, I would be pressured to do it.
Are the relationships honoring God are they also an issue?
During our age, and it's not difficult to our relationships are only good. Because I wonder when in my relationship, relationship every time, everything is sex. In that winter, I want to that's not to get people, sex. But when you get a relationship, it's supposed to be sex. But they don't have relationship.
For me, I think it's difficult to balance. First, when you have friends that do not share the same values with you, or when you as an individual, you don't have any relationship with God or with Christ, because having a relationship with God and with Jesus Christ, it helps to just like tone down your life a little bit, because when you read the Bible, you notice that there are some things you're not supposed to do as a Christian, there are things you're supposed to do. So having that relationship with God just helps you to live a life that is coordinated somehow. And so now when you go ahead to make friends that do not share those values, they are bound to take you to a direction that, first of all, does not please God, and you'd end up wasting your life. Then another thing that causes young people to find it difficult to balance their lives is if they do not have a vision of where they are going. Yes, it's true, yeah, you're going to school, you want to have a degree, but then in 5 years from now, where do you want to be? In 10 years from now, where do you want to be? With that, we just live our lives like one day at a time. You just live, you're thinking of just the here and now. You're not thinking of the future and how the things that you're doing now will affect that future that you're working towards.
So that's the voices that we spoke to on the streets. We went to the University of Zimbabwe for this one. So all of those students are part of the University of Zimbabwe. And someone who's part of the University of Zimbabwe is in the studio. Charity is in the studio. Pakambas vanopise.
Pressure pakambas iti rotangira pakutoti unoshandisa phone yakaita zvekuti une laptop yekushandisa kuchikoro vanoti aretori drama phone yako yakamira
personal phone zvinoine chikoro
kuti hara taitoziva kuti handizozangu zvekudhara, but I believe kuti maita competition yekuti anogona ndeupi, like muchitoita competition yekuti ndoda kupasa ndoda kuita sei, ko zvinotoita competition yekutoti patiri kutovhara semester apa ndofana ndodzoka nditori neiphone yekutopisa kana kune anonzi machius zviitika futi kumauniversity vanhu kungoenda ungonochila ina zvinoitwa makachila ikowa inangu
but
machius aingoitwa ende ariko ende are the precious real.
Haukuendi, unofanira uri a certain cool kuti uende kumachius.
Akungoendwa kumachius kutori nevari dzako matosikamwanza
vanovaridza machius.
So
that's number one. So that's Charity just giving us a feel of life on campus. As we were talking to some university students there, but also there is a side of campus that loves God. There is a chapel at campus. I'm going to see orientation next week. Iriko chapel, and it's not chapel in the studio. Yeah. So a lot was said there, Chaplain, if I can come back to you. When you were listening to that, anything in particular stood out?
I'm a bit worried
Yeah.
at the honestness of the people that gave the voice notes, that shared what they shared. When you listen to them, you find, you'll conclude that the University of Zimbabwe is filled with all these spiritual young people, that are, filled with the Spirit of God, that don't do wrong and, are always in the right place at all the times. And unfortunately, that is far from being true. I mean, these are young people that we interact with on a daily basis.
Yes.
And that is far from being true. And it's unfortunate, E.T., because they're taking this attitude from their parents, from us, because we have not also been honest with them. They don't have honest role models to copy from when it comes to the life balance that they should bring about. I mean, there is no mother who would sit down and tell a daughter to say, when you come to the fathers, no one will tell you, hey, my son, for me to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this was me. I mean, I've been dragged from the club, drunk, dirty, and all of these things, but I've then have been able to pick myself up, And I thought to myself, we need an honest conversation. And these parents that are role models, and we're speaking about ourselves, we must be able to bring about this particular identity and balance to our children. Because all that is missing in Link here is just an identity crisis. We're throwing in young people into this deep end, and we are expecting them also to, meet up with things, make decisions, and even make errors that we also made, which we could help them not to make. That, but we never have this conversation with them. So once we are able, for me, I would simply say, as the parents of these children, we do not know what we are parenting. So our children, therefore, will then become anything that they choose to become. So they will live without a balance.
That's the voice of Chaplain Brian Boy. Just being brutally honest of where we are. We've got Tatenda Gono, who's in the studio with us today. Someone who has gone through a lot, but has come out at the other side. So when you listen to this, Tatenda, we know as a teenager you made your mistake and you went to jail for it, and you are out now wearing a suit, looking nice, and no one will ever guess it unless someone says it.
Yeah, no.
But you are a testimony that you can pick yourself up and you can do it. I want you to talk to Zatawa Iskuti. Actually, an example like the role models. They are not there because are they there? Maybe they're there. Maybe I'm now. Maybe Azara is just.
Yeah, it's
what my role model.
It's what you do. My role models are they are there. Nyengoti muno kuti role models ne shungenda no motive ya kutowards mine kuti choku muti role model my intentions are going to but pamwe pacho se vana isusu mataredo aya anotiregerera vanotiregerera stere but kuteerera munhu mukuru hazviroti kana munhu ari mukuru kwaari unofanira kuteerera munhu wese akagodziso kuti kanyi pane pamwe unosanga kuti munhu ari kutaura but zvaari kutaura munhu mukuru but zvaari kutaura ndezvichidika ndi so it doesn't mean kuti kana uri munhu mukuru I have to listen to everything chauri kutaura. Vabereki, let's say ngatisati vabereki sachi vanhu vakuru kuti vagare newe pasi vazokutaurira zvavaita vanokutaurira the good side. Ndaipisa zvekuti ndaipisa ndaita sese zvinoitwa kumayuzi you never hear that ozvinzi but vanokuudza zvavaita zvakanaka nditi iwewe manje ukaita zvawazoita iwewe ukaita zvakashata kuti uzodzoka kwavari wati ndakanganisa apa dhedha vanambobvera vandiudza kuti vakambokanganisa ndovatsanangura sei kuti ndaita sei ndakanganisa apa. You cannot explain that. Role models ariko mentors ariko like it's the motive behind munhu wauri kuti she is a role model zvakanaka here zvauri kumuitira kuti role model because you can be a role model but my intentions
I see you. So iwewe Tatenda, let's go to your story. Pangochiri streets. Some time ago when if you're listening, Tatenda has repented and is part of Alpha Zimbabwe where he does ministry. He goes back to the prison and he ministers to people who have made similar mistakes and so on. when you were in that situation, as a young person, what were the pressures?
What were the pressures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pressures angakamira se munhu diki angari musituation makada.
Pressure do yatambotaura iti kuti pressure iriko and the pressure yakazara, but the pressure man,
Yeah.
my youth mazhinji, like inini zera rangu before after high school, lese pandakatanga nezvemadrugs inini, I can't blame it on anyone kuti andakatamba naningi ndiyakandidzidzisa munhu adzidziswe ka. It's your choice, and life is a matter of choices. If you choose with zvinhu zviri right, you can do zvinhu zviri right. If you choose with zvinhu zviri bad, you can do zvinhu zviri bad. But the pressure was there, not kuti vanhu vandaitamba navo ndo vaiita zvemadrugs. No, pandaitoita zvemadrugs vandaitotamba navo vaisazviziva kuti mukomana ari kuita mukomana kuita zvemadrugs. But ndakuita zvemadrugs, I had to kick out my friends aya ndaitamba navo, ndakutsvaga vanoenderana neni nezvandakaita sei nezvandanga ndakuita neni. Ndo yandaitaura the desire to fit in. Vanhu waonga kutamba navo waona kuti handichaenderani navo nezvandakuita zvichaita sei hazvichaenderana. So I had to find rimwe group rinoenderana nezvandaita sei nezvandaita neni. I did a lot of things during my youth time. I'm still a youth, alright. During my time.
I got used to you. I got used to you.
I've done a lot, but I've done a lot of things. Maybe chinhu chakashata chandisina kuzoita maybe ndezvechingo changu kuzouraya munhu. Zvinhu zvese I've tried.
Everything in between.
I've tried zvese, and because zvakazonondisiya kwacho it was bad. But it doesn't mean kuti kana une zvauri kuita izvezvi kana kuti uzova saved kana kuti usiyane nezvauri kuita, you have to go through zvandakasangana nazvo. That's why tiri panapa kuti tibatsirane kuti usati wasvika kwandakazoita sei, because it doesn't mean kuti ukasvika kwandakasvika uchabuda waita kunge zvakaita inini atiti. It doesn't work for everyone. Pamwe zvakangoitika kwandiri kwauri zvinoona usazodaro. So
usasvike ukoko
don't exactly
don't go. Jail doesn't change someone. Don't go there.
Jail inochinja munhu. Ukapinda mujeri, chinhu chandakanzwisisa pajeri, ukapinda mujeri haubude uri zvauri. Isedze unobuda wawese kana kuti unobuda wamunhu right. Haubude uri zvawapinda uri. Isedze zvichawedzera kana kuti unobuda wa a changed person. Ndozvinoita jeri.
So that's Tatenda Gono, who's just sharing us part of the story. I think also it's important for a young person who's listening to know that consequences are there.
They're there, yeah.
You know, were you the only young person there?
Nah, there were so many.
Yeah,
that's true. I've been in the streets and I'm still in the streets, but the streets now.
So let me come to you, Chaplain Abraham, in terms of just listening to Tatenda and what he's saying, and also speaking to some of the consequences. As a young person who's listening right now, they may not be aware that there's consequences to action.
I mean, everything. Whatever you saw, at some point you're going to reap something out of it. Be it good or bad. At the end of the day, you will reap something out of it. And we don't want, I've always said to young people, we don't want a situation where we are speaking in retrospect and we have testimonies of places and cases like Tatenda. In his case, we then thank God for his grace and his mercy that he was able to pull him out and ensure that at the end of the day, he's able to come and sit with us here. And we are saying, no, this is not where we should be going. We must be able to say, for every young person that is still has the ability to be able to make the decision and the choice now, not to do or to walk in the path probably that he has experienced, we must be able to make the decision now before experiencing anything, because we have seen where far it can take us. We have seen where it will send us to. So we don't want any more of these testimonies. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's an amazing testimony and we celebrate it because it's a young man that has come back. But as he speaks right now, the message should be, We don't need any more young people.
Yeah.
Let's not even start. Let's not even get engaged or get involved in anything bad. Can we draw a proper balance as young people as we live, so that we never find ourselves in that position? Can I read a text from the Bible? Timothy chapter 4, the verses 12 says, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. Common passage. But follow this. This is what I love. But set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. It's not surprising that the scriptures actually are asking young people to set examples for all the believers. And it's not choosing whether young or old. It's simply saying, as a young person, it has become your duty to set an example. So you are creating or becoming the role model in yourself, because we have failed as the elder in courts to give you the perfect role model, or to be the perfect example, or to give you the examples or spaces that will create you and build you into that person that you should become. Then scripture comes in and says, it's okay, I knew such things will happen, that there will be elderly people who will fail to give you proper direction. But when that time comes, can you become the example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity? So simply put, these young people have ability of teaching us how to become better lovers in our own families. The same young people have the ability of teaching us how to rule better. They have the ability to teach us on how to speak better. They have ability of teaching us on how to become better believers in all the things that we do. God has put it clear here. We can learn from the young people if they choose to become the best examples for all believers.
So come through on our phones. So we want to take some phone calls now. This is Faith on Trial.
Faith on Trial. WhatsApp on 0772162651. Call in on 0772162651 or 0774414413.
So we are talking the balance of the world of YOLO, the world of living in the moment. We are talking about how can the young believer be able to navigate life. And I think I've got someone on the line. Good evening, you're through to Star FM.
Hey, hello, how are you?
No, I'm doing good. Who am I talking to?
Yes, you are talking to Albert.
No, Albert, you can go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to comment on the leader's point where he said, as a grown-up person, you are not taught of bad habits or bad conduct. As a true living testimony or an example to that point, because I grew up with my elder brothers. I think there were 5. All of them were drunkards. So I remember at some point when I was Form 3, they would send me to this, beer was Mamawa, Tenga pure and stuff, but it was a choice that I made on myself that I don't want to follow this. And up to now, I don't change. The whole family, I think, the brothers, Anumadore, everyone. So it's just a point which I'm stressing, which Tatinda was saying, some bad habits we are not taught. It's actually your own choices which can lead you to choose whether between bad and good things. So that's the point that I am.
Thanks, Albert. So that's Albert just telling us that as a young person, you have the power to make decisions that shape your life. 0772-162-651, 0772-162-651, 0714414413, 0242-689-897. If you're a young person, this is your opportunity to just let the people know. Let us know what's really going on. Let us know what you're thinking about. Let us know as with regards to finding that balance. Good evening. You're through to Star FM. That's good, Lawrence. You can go ahead. Lawrence. I knew Lawrence didn't have a lot of airtime. Went right straight into it. It was a little less than he imagined. 0772-162-651. You're through to Star FM. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Right. I want first of all, what is this? Before I say anything.
Oh, you can go ahead. This is Pastor G.
Yes.
You can quote your verse, Pastor. Yes, go ahead.
It says, I'll tell you this thing, and that you know, that in you we have peace. In the world, face tribulation and challenges, but you can overcome the world. It's not a choice what you want to do with the world. It's one and the same thing with this young generation. It's not all about just to people, but sometimes it's all about taking a choice.
Mm.
It might be at school, it might be everything, but it's all about what type of friends are you being around with? Are you giving yourself mission statement and vision statement? Are you giving yourself plans and goals? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve on this world? Or you are just following others, what others are going to do? You have to be content with what you are doing. You are born in a poor family, you are just not that you are born in a poor family. What you have to do is to go and do what to go in the world and to come out with flying colors like that, go to raise apostles to push and to go an extra mile. It's all about making a choice.
Yeah. Thank you, Pastor G. So let me pull it back into the studio. I'm coming to you now, Tatem. So someone might be listening to us, and they might want to know how you were able to redirect your life into what you are now. You know, after hitting rock bottom, you went to jail as a teenager. You are out. How did you redirect your life?
Like I said before, life is a matter of choices.
Yeah.
The guy above follow. If you choose to do something right, you can do something right. In any, when I was in jail, and the kanganizuwa ndakatendeka was it is like one of the most important days in my life, September 3rd, 2022. It was on a Saturday. Pakauya Alpha Zimbabwe. Pakauya vanhu veAlpha Zimbabwe vaita Bible lessons mujeri, Bible courses, Alpha course. Inina, I didn't participate with these courses because most of my time I didn't participate like mentioned about kitchen. So most of the time I was busy. So we were forced to spend more mujeri because most of Saturday, like my weekends, my prison officers, I didn't go to my show, my numbers are limited. So I had to go more to church. Not good I wanted to go, but say
Opinion changing.
So I would sit back and don't get like Mazuai say like you know, Majirwani and Okawanda and visits around. Sit to my shure and do whatever I was doing, but Pachito paritwa like Pachito nezongwari pfungwa dzangu dzanga dzitori panze kuti dai vapedza daita sei tadzokera panze, you know, ndobva raparidzwa. Pakauya Alpha Zimbabwe, inini I was in a process yekuti I was willing to change. I was willing to give my life kuna Mwari. You know, I've tried everything. One I'm gonna tell you've run this road, but when I kusvitsa zvanamba kutaura before kuti ndakazama zvese, but pazvakandisiya pacho pakaita sei. So I was in a process yekuti I was willing to change. I was willing to make a difference neupenyu hwangu. Ndopakaita hambini guys Alpha Zimbabwe. Kubatsirwa kwandakaitwa inini kana kuti total transformation yakaitika muupenyu hwangu, hapana kuuya mufundisi achindibata musoro eti ngaribude timbo, you know what they do, kana kuti matombo prayering unogeza makuseni masikati mumanheru, you know. It was a matter of choice to say no, easy handichada izvi ndakuda kuita izvi. But after the choice manje, it doesn't mean kuti ukati hauchada zvinofanira kubva zvotoramba zvakadaro kuti hauchada, because pane chakanaka ndo panoita sei, ndo panorwiswa. Saka it was the self discipline manje kuti izvi wakati hauchada, saka uchaita sei, hauchada. That's how I changed. That's how God changed my life.
Let me come to you, Chaplain. Something that you can add to that in terms of how someone would redirect their life.
I think the process is simple, like he has put it.
Yeah.
But obviously, we don't want to underplay the role of the Holy Spirit in all of this.
Exactly.
That he obviously then is the one that convinces you and convicts you of the wrongdoings that you have been doing, and continues to speak to you while the man of flesh is standing there and saying whatever they are saying. But there's this, God continues to talk to you. But I think it is as simple as Luke 11:9 puts it across. That, and I tell you, if you ask, it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. I know most people always use this passage when it comes to them looking for things from God that have nothing to do with their church. It's like asking for cars and all of this. But I'm saying to a young person who is out there and listening to this, at this moment, right now, you're holding on to something that you think, I don't want this thing. And the scripture is saying, if you ask him, just tell him, God, I don't want this, but I keep going back to it. I'm failing to draw the balance. So I'm not going to ask anyone. I'm not going to ask my friends. I'm not going to ask anyone. But I'm going to ask God to say, okay, show me the way. Give me the path. Give me the better things to do. Give me the right choice to make and the right decisions to make. And he will give it to you. And finally it says, knock, and it will be open to you. And when we're putting upon the aspect of knocking, we're simply saying, whatever, at times we get so bottled up by the devil in the things of this life, that he covers us up to the point of not seeing that which is on the outside. And God is simply saying, okay, just hit on the walls. While you're on the inside, covered by the mist of all the smoke and all of these things, hit on the walls. I will open up and come and rescue you from all these challenges. So every young person who is out there has an opportunity to become bigger, better than what they are today. We were created more powerful than what we think. I think the book of Genesis gives us everything. When it says God created us in his image and likeness, blah, blah, blah. But he gave us dominion over everything that he has put on planet Earth. So I can't be conquered by, a bottle of, what is it called? Because I have dominion over that thing. You understand? Yeah, I can't be conquered by him. We have been created and we've been given all this dominion for ourselves. And I'm saying to young people out there, can we begin to exercise the dominion that God gave us? We will be bigger, better than anything.
You're through to Star FM. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm good. Who am I talking to?
Yeah, you're talking to Tawanda from
You can go ahead, Tom.
We are hearing some inspirational words from the studio there. It's really tough how the world is turning out to be, and how rapidly it's coming towards mostly we are seeing how universities and colleges are now turning out like hotels instead of being academic institutions and serving their purpose. So yeah, a lot of things are happening there, but discipline is needful, sobriety, and not following what other people are doing. And also another thing which we are facing as youth is the content which we consume, social media and also on TV. It is playing a pivotal role in terms of influencing our characters and also the things which we do. So we're facing reality and being educated, and I think from platforms such as this, it actually brings light unto the youth, and actually we have to wake up and face reality that part of these things which are happening on social media and television, they're actually fake life, and people playing roles or acting, and just take life as it is supposed to be felt. So that is my contribution.
Thank you, Tawanda. That's Tawanda, young person who's talking about he says that no consumer, sema youth. Let me come to you, Tateno. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Social media is one of the biggest things that causes suicide. Most of the time, you come on TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, and everything. And the content in any of those platforms, like, let's say there's this pastor akataura kuti alright uri kuverenga bhaibheri uri pafoni anditi, and then popapinda ka notification ke message from your sweetheart, will you be able to continue kuverenga bhaibheri papinda that pop-up message? So zvimwe zvinhu zvatinozowana zviri painternet it's hard to resist isusu semayuth. Zvambotaura zvimwe the debate yamakaita the guy kuti temptation yamaifesa inini neyatakufesa isusu the difference yacho ihombe. Difference yacho ihombe.
Consumption. 0772162651. You can still phone. A lot of young people are phoning today and are getting through, and they seem to be talking about temptation and what they are consuming. Let me come to you, Chaplain. Consumption of poison, I should say. Doesn't look like poison. It looks like, eating Easter eggs every day. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are to blame it.
Yeah.
I'll speak to you and me.
All right. Okay.
Why?
Chaplain is a man who wants to take responsibility.
Yeah, because if ever there is anyone that has to correct things,
yeah,
it is us that have the power and ability to do so, and the resources to do so. And we have allowed so much content of what our young people are consuming. Why are we not creating as much content of that which we want them to consume? Because we will never be able to cut them, to stop them from consuming that which is online. It will always be there. And the more we keep talking, the more the other side, let me call it the other side, the more the other side of the content that we do not want will continue to be generated. And our young people will continue to consume the same content. So for me to answer to that, I mean, what is there is already there. They can't do anything to it. But I'll simply say, can we upscale our ability of creating the content that which we want our young people to be seeing and that which we want our young people to be viewing? I mean, this goes to all ministers, church bodies, individuals that have power and money and all of these things. Let's be able to create the content that we want our young people to be able to see.
Good evening, you're through to Star FM. Hello, you're through?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. I think there's one type of thing that the master is making. Life is not the proportion. I think my forgetting of the thing that is going to be but I really that thing I think it can actually help us. And also there's some things that have been missing some colors that is with regards to there's a book that one of my friends likes so much, so Unity and and that book talks about right? Whereby those choices, yes, big choices, but those choices they have found a way to take a report to it. That's what I help you in terms of making that way. So what we consume, I think we should be mindful of what we consume. Because whatever you want to be consuming, that is the thing that is going to direct making the choice. So if you are fan of watching pornography, but you think it is made, you want to get from the report to the report, that's what you are getting. That's gonna be the one that's gonna direct making the choice. So yeah, I think choice is made and there's a report that you need to do. That's gonna help.
Thanks a lot for that. So I just want to come to what you said about content. So there's this, I found it on YouTube, so I was trying to look it up and give you the specific link so that people who are listening can go there. The person said something like this. Christian content compared to secular content is 1:500 uploads a day. So that's what you're saying in terms of content. 1:500. Secular world is not stopping. They don't have time to stay uploading things every time. So it's 1:500. So I tend to concur with what you're saying. That are we putting out enough things out there? Is there enough so that your phone is flooded with notifications from that happened, that happened, that happened, that happened, that happened? Do we have those apps? And people who are listening right now can be encouraged by what you've just said. Let's put out good so that the young people can be able to consume. 0772 162 651. 0242 689 897, 0714 4413. Those are the numbers to dial. In the studio with me, I've got Chaplain Brian Moyo, who's a corporate who offers corporate chaplaincy services from Seventh Day Adventist Church, and I also have Tatenda Gono from Alpha Zimbabwe. Good evening, you're through to Star FM.
Hello, Magadi.
Chilipo Magadi.
Chilipo Murugutaurona Apostle Koban.
Apostle Koban.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Apostle Koban.
Na Filipo, na Uyukuchi, Narukutura Patra, Nukuda. Na Uyukuchi, Yukuchi, Trace, and Indian Mukura,
Yeah.
Yukucha is a creature. Let us look just to trench to wait to put an Gavachi and track. Once you have a track, the church and running the lab. And Gavacha Kiro, so government in the airport, you went to Master to propose. I can make things and a teacher. They may have one of the achieve a pop and put it with the air visa. They use great train, but you cannot talk sooner to our future. We know one of the bus and that's it. Indo panel to get the location matter. Maybe this will turn the super to go on. Chakaipa that will rap state. Chakul to return one kilometers in Chakaipa. In a way, I will not tell you that or not. Chakaparu to put one, I think about teacher. You see, you will go to the matter. They don't for my stop with up, but I don't go out with you. I see it get a good deal on my phone, but I did about and you want to keep it in the red ribbons and make it. My ribbon want to like that game about leadership people get to reach up and away. You could find it as a pretense, and that's what it was.
Thank you, Apostle Koban.
Okay, thank you.
So another contribution coming in from Apostle Koban. And 0772 162 651. You're through to Star FM. Good evening.
Hello, evening.
Hello. Who am I talking to?
Rutendo.
All right. Good evening, Rutendo. You can go ahead.
Yes. You know, this challenge that we're actually facing, especially among the youth, it's culminating from a very deep influence from the devil himself. We've always been deceptive. We've always been to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And if you're going to pinpoint it, maybe drugs, maybe idleness, maybe alcoholism, the consumption of all these social media sewage that is being poured out, it will be an unfair judgment, because ultimately the source is simple, it is the devil himself. And according to James chapter 4 verse 7, it reads that we should submit ourselves and we should resist the devil and he shall flee from us. So it's very practical for us to really understand that the devil is just against humanity, and when it comes to him attacking the youth, it means he is able to even attack the future, because they are the future. And once they are destroyed now, then we know he is done with humanity, because he is against humanity and he hates humanity. So we all have a part to play, like the chaplain said. We as elders, we are the content creators. The youth themselves have also to take it upon themselves to make the right choices, to know what to listen to, what to consume, or what not to consume. And other relevant stakeholders like the government itself, it has to provide with, all these, opportunities so that the youth don't become very idle. Like I said, an idle mind is the devil's petrol. So youth can actually resort to a lot of other things once they don't have anything to do.
Thank you, Jendo. Let me bring it back to the studio. Just get some encouraging words from our guests today. Atatenda, I'll start with you. Just some encouraging words for someone who may be going through some things. As you say, pressure Rwanda to the young people. Where you are one of very, very few. If someone who's listened to this show all year, they will tell you that you are the only such person that has been able to bring to this show any other day. The rest, they haven't been able to live to tell the tale. But what do you have to say?
My word of encouragement to my youth, let us appreciate first opportunity on our belly. Because it's a blessing actually kuti unozvarwa ukura with both parents alive. Vamwe vanorarama vasina vabereki, vamwe vanorarama vanowana kuti. So let's appreciate the effort inoitwa nevabereki vedu for us kuti tiende kumaschools and all that stuff. And paissue yepressure zvataurwa neabva kufona kuti Satan akangwara. He knows your weaknesses, he knows your desires. So when he attacks kwauri wewe haakunzire zvinhu zvakusingafariwe. He puts on the table zvinhu zvinonyatsonoti izvi ndezvangu chaizvo. At the end of the day, it is the devil behind. So we need the ability kuti tione kuti chiri kuitika kana kuti zvauya patable izvi ndi Satan iri behind or ndimwari. We need that kind of ability to say zviri kuitika apa ndimwari iri kana kuti ndi Satan. Because Satan akangwara. Because paunonamata kuna mwari iye anototeerera anotasei ari kutonzwawo munamato yako. So we need kuti tizive kuti zviri kuitika muupenyu hwangu ndimwari iri kana kuti ndi Satan.
So also the coming to you, chaplain, the caller points to a spiritual warfare as being the deeper cause amongst many other factors. Is that how you see it?
I mean, definitely we do have a great controversy. We have that spiritual warfare between good and evil. But we also must not forget the fact that both the good and the evil have propellers that make either of the two attractive. That we choose the evil because it has been spoken for and it has been, proven to be attractive in the courts, and we'll choose the good because also at the same time it has been spoken for and it has also been proven to be attractive. So if one side seemingly is, pushing and propelling all of these things and making the other side to look good all the time and continuously, then we will obviously follow and run through that side of things. So I want to subscribe to the fact that yes, definitely, there is a great controversy. The devil is working very hard to convince young people and even the elderly to continue to do that which is wrong. And I'm saying, can we also come in as Christians and be so convincing? If we are accepting the defeat from the side of the devil, so are we then claiming that the devil is more powerful than God? Does God have a lesser saving ability and power compared to the evil one? As long as we want to put him on a higher pedestal in all these things that are happening in our lives, we must be convincing in that which we believe in. We must be convincing to the point that young people can see. The other thing is that, we the older Christians are not marketing Christianity to be fashionable. It's this thing that cannot be done. The level of perfection that we have claimed we have when we do not have makes all these young people look at us as hypocrites. We claim to be this perfect, we claim to be doing A, B, C, and D, and they then struggle to make the decision between that which is right and that which is wrong. Where should they go? Should they also step in and pretend like we are doing? Should they also come in and pretend as though they are not struggling with A, B, C, and D? Because sometimes, there are many young people probably listening to me right now who know my struggles, who know my personal failures, and things that I struggle with. But each and every time, peradventure, when I stand up to speak on those things, I want to claim perfection in the same things that I struggle in. So that then always defeats the purpose of this gospel that we are trying to share. that always will defeat it. But anyway, it is possible for young people to be able to live right and do the right things all the time.
So we've got a WhatsApp coming in, the official Faith on Trial, Friends on Faith on Trial group. Tanges says balance is not static, and that's why God himself desires balance in our lives. Ecclesiastes 3:1-8 reminds us that there's a time for everything, emphasizing the importance of balance in every season of life, regardless of age. This biblical principle encourages us to embrace flexibility and adaptability as we navigate life's challenges, trusting in God's guidance and wisdom to achieve harmony and equilibrium. That's Max Albert in Twin Lakes, Norton. Shout out to you, Max, in Norton there. So as we close the show, we'd like to answer the quiz question of the day. To make sure you've got the answer for us.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And it's Christianity. So the service is regarded by many Christians as a sacrament and is often called the how do I pronounce that?
Eucharist.
Eucharist. Yes, that one.
But you're the one who says this question. You're the one who picks this. Wonderful. Go ahead.
So, yeah, it's the service of celebrating the sacrificial death and resurrection of Jesus Christ using elements of bread and wine. So, yeah. Wow. Christianity.
All right. Excellent. So that's our quiz question of the day. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our guests. Chaplain Moyo, it's been excellent to having you around. I'm sure we will call again. So Chaplain Moyo, you can get in touch with him. How can people get in touch with you? You offer corporate chaplaincy services if someone wants to get in touch.
Oh, definitely. By the way, we offer corporate chaplain services for free to any company and individual that needs counseling, mental health issues at no cost at all over the country in Zimbabwe. And our number is 0782 725 457.
Yeah. We also say goodbye to Tatenda Gono for now. I'm going to have a new nickname for you. It's goodbye for now.
Thank you very much.
Next time, then a new nickname. Young Bandit is no more. Young Bandit was Wawida.
Yeah, it was.
Excellent stuff. So as we say goodbye, we have got our last song that we play for you, and it's coming from Everton Mulalazi, and we always like to have you sending through